Hello and welcome to Rule of Three's video review for South Park: The Stick of Truth, a RPG from Obsidian and South Park Digital Studios. So, this is the long-awaited South Park game that has been waited for a long time. After multiple delays, it has finally come out, and it's worth the wait. Everything from story to gameplay is very solid. However, there are some bugs and stuff that I did encounter. But it is if you're a fan of South Park, this is the ultimate South Park game. Even if you're not into RPGs, it's still probably you'd be interested in just because of the South Park aspect of it, which is very, very good.
It's a new beginning for us. Things are finally going to be good.
Do you really think it will be better for him?
So the story of Stick of Truth takes place sometime after the events of the Black Friday PS3, Xbox One battle in the series. And basically, there's two factions. There's the Drow Elves, which is led by Kyle, and the Humans, which are led by Cartman. Each side is vying for an item called the Stick of Truth, which is literally just a stick. And it's basically they're playing capture the flag. Is, whoever controls the stick controls kind of the fate of the universe. So they're just trying to fight each other and, fight it back and forth. You play as the new kid who has just moved into town for some reason, as your parents hint, but you don't quite know why yet. And you get caught up in this game of capture the flag and are recruited by Cartman. So your job is to protect the Stick of Truth at all costs, and that's how it starts. And then things get weird, including government gets involved, space aliens, and just weird things start happening via, normal South Park episode. It just starts out simple, but it explodes into something much, much bigger that doesn't make any sense to some extent, but it does. The story's great. It's hilarious. It's a little slow in the beginning, but once you get to really past the first day, it picks up and is really funny. Has a lot of good humor, at least South Park humor. And Troy, I can't. Matt and Troy, if they do another South Park game, have to be the writers, because comparatively to all the other South Park games that ever come out, they all look like crap versus this one. And most of those games were crap, but this is such a good written storyline for a South Park game that it really shines. So like I said, I can't play another South Park game unless Trey and Matt do it.
What sad times these are when the nation's youth run around in dungeon clothes playing the games of Satan. Young man, if you really want power, there's only one thing you must do. Find Jesus. Find him, and when you do, return to me.
So gameplay is very simplistic, but has some kind of intense battle mechanics. So it's a basic RPG. You run into an enemy, and punch them to get a preemptive strike. If they hit you, they get the first strike. And combat is done in a turn-based style but that is very reminiscent, if you've ever played the Super Mario RPG or Paper Mario games. Is you pick an attack and then there'll be like an on-screen cue to push a button to do extra damage. If you don't push the button, you still do damage, but not a whole lot. Whereas if you push it at the right time, you'll do a super damage or whatever the thing is. And then you have three basic. If you use your basic weapon, it has three abilities. You can do three kind of just basic hits: a heavy attack, which is more for enemies that have a lot of armor, and also then you can fart on them. You also get a bow, which allows for ranged attacks to get to people in the back, which is very handy. And that's really it for combat. It's just making sure you follow the command prompts to push the button at the right time. Now there are 4 classes you can choose from. There is the warrior, the thief, the mage, and the Jew. My gameplay, I played a thief, although I've seen a lot of Jew footage. Not a whole lot of mage and fighter footage though, which is kind of weird. A lot of Jew. The only problem I have with the 4 classes is they're all pretty much the same except for the 5 abilities, like class-specific abilities they get. Everything else is very similar. Even what the moves do are fairly similar. Just the description and the animations really change, because there's also perks which you get by making friends in town, which I'll talk about that in a little bit. And those are all the same throughout the class, same with your fart magic. There's no real difference. So picking a class really just depends on, what 5 silly abilities do you want. Otherwise, they're all pretty much the same. There's not a whole lot of difference, even within like attack and defense. So as I mentioned earlier, you have to make friends to get perks, which are bonuses to different things. You make friends by talking to people in South Park and creating or completing quests for people. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of other points to make friends. Other than they also post on their Facebook wall, which is how the UI is set up. And they leave some interesting messages. My least favorite friend right now is Al Gore because he spammed the crap out of my Facebook page, and I had to go beat him up to stop him from doing that. And that was by far one of the best side quests I've done so far is Man, Bear, Pig, and Al Gore. Which reminds me, there's little side quests you can do, which are all pretty funny. There's only been a couple of them that have been kind of meh, but the highlights so far that of my playthrough are, yes, Man, Bear, Pig, and the Shitty Walk quest where you have to go into the Tower of Peace and defeat the Mongolians. That was also pretty fun. There's also a couple with Mr. Hanky, but there's a bunch across town that you can do that are all really funny and unique. But yeah, not really but yeah, all good stuff. You can also equip to your weapons little patches that give them power-ups, like do lightning damage, fire damage, and all that fun stuff. Same with your armor. Character customization is awesome. I just wish it was not quite as, I wish I could make my character look the way I want him to versus it being based off the gear I'm wearing. I wish they kind of had an appearance tab so I could keep my character looking how I would want my South Park character to look. But that's really my only gripe with the character creation and the gearing. Other than that, there's not a whole lot. It's a very, very basic RPG. Kill things, level up. Stuff like that.
I believe we are dealing with Man Bear Pig! Yes, the Man Bear Pig. I know you're scared, but I need help. Take these and place them in the location specified on the Man Bear map, Pig. And now I'm going to make you my friend on Facebook. This is very prestigious. You have my email now, but don't give it out to anybody. I'm super serial.
So South Park Stick of Truth is, like I said earlier, the game South Park fans have wanted and deserve. It's hilarious. A lot of throwbacks to old episodes. Great combat system. And I didn't really find any faults with it other than I should have mentioned the gameplay section. But there are some bugs, mainly to do with frame rates and loading issues and stuff. I did run into a few of them. But none of them were too bad to where, I flipped out on it. But the frame rate drops were probably my biggest peeve that I was playing through. However, despite all that, this gets a buy because the game is all around awesome. With all the delays, I was kind of worried that'd be crap, but Man and Trey did a great job making sure that, this is the game they wanted and that South Park fans wanted, and this is the game that delivers that. So, there you go. Buy verdict for South Park Stick of Truth. That's it for this episode. Stay tuned next week for my next review, which I don't remember what it is at the moment. I honestly don't. So, I think it's Titanfall. I could be wrong. Don't hold me on that. But make sure to subscribe to our channel for when I do post another update. Sorry this is coming out late. Baby and myself and wife have been sick, so it's been hard catching up. So sorry about that for the delays in these videos. But that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and always remember to trust in the rule of 3.